building some MDF. Let me restart that so I can actually see the chat. Hi everyone! Yes, this evening I'm going to be building some MDF kits, or kit, that I started last night. Sorry about the noise. From TT Combat. Now, if you have seen Mrs. MLG's latest YouTube video, thank you, regarding TT Combat MDF kits, you may have seen some comments about how the parts are laid out on the old frames here. Hello, little miss. You alright? Have you come to assist, or have you just come to say hello? Yeah, so there are a little issue with how these things are laid out. Well, not particularly how they're laid out, but how they're notified in the instructions. So, here is a part, say, right? This part was on this frame. This is frame number 4 of 13. There are 13 pieces of MDF in this box that make up the Farrier's Homestead kit. Here are the instructions. Let me move that for you. Here is my iPad. Hopefully you can see that without it being too reflective. This is the iPad, this is the instructions. This is the bit that says, oh hang on, let me get the reflection of the light out of the way. This red bit, this is this bit. Hang on, it's gone back in the frame. Stupid thing. This is this bit, right? Does that bit go here on this building, like this? Does it glue on there? Maybe there. Oh no. No, it doesn't go there. It has a little dotted line. Dot, 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 dot. And it goes there, next to that window, like that. Little dotted line there. Goes in there, look. Because if you look at the next picture, it's there, next to the window. Right? So, and then another part goes in next to it. But, 13 pieces of wood. The parts for this building don't come on frames 4 to 6, say, and there is nothing in the instructions that tell you which part, which frame, that part, or the next part might be on. Both Mrs. MLG and I are very close to rage quitting with building this building, or these buildings. It is incredibly frustrating. I'm sure it'll be once they are finished, it'll be worthwhile because they'll look great once Mrs. MLG has painted them. However, what I suspect is going to happen now is I'm going to end up building them all so Mrs. MLG can paint them. See you later. There we go. Part number 10, right? So that other part was on number 4 of 13. This part, which is the other part that we need now, is on frame 10. But if it's told me in the instructions which piece that was on, that'd be really, really helpful. So we're going to the Game Expo at the weekend, the end of the week. Going to the Game Expo, and I'm going to have a nice, friendly chat with the guys that I know at TT Combat and pass on my feedback, because this is incredibly frustrating for a kit that comes with so many sprues, shall we say. There we go. Right. So I've got those two parts. We know where they're going. They're going in this corner. And we're going to get some glue, which is just some good old PVA. Good old Brian Clegg PVA. We sell that at the shop, or we certainly did before we ran out, if we have run out. Good gear. The old Brian Clegg. There he goes up there. What's going on in the old chat then? I've been on a bit of a rant. Not really been paying 100% attention. Hi Tony. Hi John the Templar. Hi Pete. Hi Methusus. Hi Red. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for putting up with us. Mrs. MLG will be along soon. She's just otherwise engaged for a little while. in a very good mood. Found out who took a East Riding Mini Platoon 20 range. They were awesome Imperial Japanese figures. Hi, Koroniko. How you doing? Cool. Who has taken them over? Who has taken over the East Riding Minis stuff? Someone in Hull, I think. East Front Miniatures. Are they in Hull? Because I'm sure I saw something about that recently. I could be wrong though. Often am. What's expertly built MDF buildings? Yeah. Yeah, what frustratingly annoying MDF buildings these are. So look, here's another perfect thing. Right then. This red part is the part we need next. It's a piece of wall. It's a big square piece. Oh, Grimsby. Not that far away in the grand scheme of things. It's a big squarish piece of red wall. No indication what part that is, or which of the 13 pieces of wood I'm going to pop that out of. So let's do the looking through the frames dance. Oh, it's here. Look, I found it. It's on frame 4, like some of those other parts. I do apologise that I'm going to be doing lots of complaining about that this evening. Not as much as Mrs. MLG. When she gets here, I'm sure she'll share some of her views. Right. So, that. In fact, that's not the right bit, is it? That's not the right bit. It's not ruined in the right places. Right, okay. This is why Emma got really cross. So, how's everybody's day been? Hope you've all had a fantastic bank holiday. Yes, TT Combat's motto is, if you can't figure it out, you don't deserve it on your tabletop. Hi Zan, how you doing? And do you know, Tony, this whole kit would be brilliant for Mordheim. It would, and that is why we're putting it together. This is going to be some fantasy Frostgrave Mordheim terrain for the shop. Look, there it is, last part in the bottom of the box, I think. Is that the one? That's the one. That's not the one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. It's the one. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. If you can't figure it out, you don't deserve it. But I feel that the construction time would be massively reduced if I didn't have to constantly leaf through all of the pieces to figure out which one I wanted next. Weeding and 40 hours in on printing a gate for the castle. Cool. Got a new bicycle, cycled 5 miles and didn't crash once. That's an achievement, isn't it? I need to get on my bicycle and do a bit of exercise. I have a bicycle. It currently needs a new inner tube in the front tyre. And I could fix it, but I'm too lazy to fix it. I even have the new inner tube, and say it's a new inner tube. I found an inner tube in the garage, and I've even gone to the extent of pumping up said inner tube to make sure that it holds air before I put it in the bicycle tyre. But that's as far as I've got. So the tyre is next to my bicycle in the garage. In fact, hung on the handlebars, pumped up. So just need to pull my finger out and get it sorted. Even better, my crow friend in the park still recognised me and flew after me for her peanuts. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Sculpting and terrain painting for Methusis. Oh, now then. Right. That part, here's a part I prepared earlier. Now that part is to go with the next part, which is part of the roof. And I suspect that this piece here, this piece, is going to be useful in a minute. So I'm going to put that to one side. Make my job even harder by snapping that bit off and discarding it back into the box. Right, so I'm pretty certain that near enough all of the pieces on part number 3 and part number 9 they're going to be used later. Remember that. Awesome. How big's this gatehouse for the castle, Red? If it's taking 40 hours to print, or more than 40 hours to print, that's quite a session. We had oh, there it is. On number 12, part number 12. We had a power cut last night, so that'd have been no good for us. That'd have been a failed print 30 odd hours in. The last time I cycled was pre-lockdown, so very true. You should be. I think that's a feat worth recognising. And 5 miles as well. That's better than just going around the block, isn't it? Well, it depends how big your block is, but it's yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Mrs. MLG does not ride bicycles since she was a child. Apart from exercise bike, she will occasionally get on an exercise bike. But yeah, I have suggested that we have bikes and go for bike rides, but she doesn't fancy it. Right. We do keep saying that we should take the dog on longer walks, and then we don't get any further than round the block. He doesn't seem to mind. Although, I did think if I could get into riding my bicycle back on a regular basis, that maybe Gizmo might like to come with me and run with me while I bicycle. And I'm not suggesting for a moment that I'd be holding on to his lead, as I see some people doing. I'm suggesting that he would come without his lead and come running alongside. But also, he might just run away. To have some really good treats. So, has it been like 4 years since you've seen the crow in the park then, Kuranika? And it recognised you? Because crows are really intelligent. Took the dogs off lead-in on the beach this evening. They had a blast and Mills got caught by an unexpected wave. Did she do the dog like double take? Oh, what was that? What was that? Hi, Red Scope. Right, here we go. What is next? What is next? Oh, next we get to build a bit of window or something. Now then, here we have... Here is a part I also got ready earlier. that we need next. We need to knock out all of them little bits there. Dashed away, straight back to me, sneezing a lot. The whole gatehouse, gatehouse, 3D printed gatehouse. 2 towers, 3 floors, the gate and walls and base of the towers. 130mm by 130. Wow. Awesome. And Kuroneko says, "Oh no, I saw her yesterday, but I was scared she would be scared of the bike. Apparently, it takes more than that to scare Poe." Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good. Tame enough to come and get some nuts. Right then. Where is... Oh, that's just detritus now, that piece, and that piece. That's one of the bits I need just there. I suppose as you get further into building a kit like this, and then you get less and less parts left on the frame, it's going to be easier to find the bits you want. But now I need to find another bit that is the mirror of that piece somewhere. So here we go, hunting back through the multiple parts again. Right, let's get that in the scrap pile, because there's no point you moving bits we're not going to be using. Like all of that bit, we don't need any of that. That's all junk. I could do with a box or something really to be dropping these bits into, get them out of the way. Stick it over there. Go in that part. That's pretty much all one big part. Put that over one side. Hopefully we'll need that in a minute. Oh, and that, whatever that is. Anything left on there? Oh yeah, a couple of bits. Let's just destroy all of that. Just destroy everything. And then I discover that the part I need is in the scrap pile. Pretty tame, but her husband's a big coward. Yeah. Blokes are. We're all wimps. So what is this terrain for games-wise? This is going to be for Frostgrave, Mordheim, and multiple other fantasy games for the shop. So we have decided. I don't know if it was supposed to be a secret or not. Secret project. Oh, there we go. Look, here's a piece I made earlier. I smashed it there. So sorry about the noise, everybody. I'm having flashbacks to the time I threw out the bits of MDF and had to go in the bin because I'd thrown out vital parts. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do here. Probably what I'm going to do here, I reckon. Yeah, so this is going to be new super project. Don't know whether it's supposed to be a secret, but spoiler alert for you lovely viewers. We're going to make a proper built together gaming board for the shop. So not buildings that you can move around, proper type, all glued in place with a river and stuff on it, so Mrs. MLG can try out her modelling skills. Is the plan. So right, let's see, where does that glue into? There, I think. But I think after experience putting some of these kits together, MDF wise, that it's going to be a case of I am building the buildings and she is going to paint them. It's a shame that a little bit of a pain in the bum put together, because they do look pretty cool once they're put together, and even better once they're painted. But yeah, just frustrating, that bit with the instructions. I don't think Mrs. MLG quite enjoyed the building aspect. No, she wanted to. She wanted to enjoy it. She just got, you know how she likes a little moan about stuff. Well, she got very angry with these yesterday, and I think she says on the YouTube video that she's put together that she really wanted to make a video that said, "Oh look, here I am putting together this MDF kit, and they're really great, and I've done a really good job, and I'm pleased with myself." And all she ended up doing was hating MDF. But maybe we try some different manufacturers, because I've recently built the Sarissa Wild West couple of buildings and a water tower and what have you, and they were a joy to put together, although there weren't many parts. So while the parts aren't numbered and the instructions are equally as descriptive as these ones are, then I think that they go together a little bit easier. So these ones, sometimes the parts are a super duper snug fit, and that does make the experience less enjoyable. I think the official Frostgrave buildings would have been a lot better for her to build. I don't know, are they really good, the ones that Cromlech have done? They're the proper jobbers, aren't they? But we didn't have any of those in stock, which is so she wanted to go for things that we had in the shop, so we could tell people about her experience building some stuff that we had for sale. Now we can get them, but I haven't previously ordered any in that range of stuff. We can get them, but we haven't, purposefully, because they are a little bit more on the pricey side. But I don't know what the instructions are. They actually give letters and numbers so you can tell what the parts are. Yeah, I think that's what we need here. But yeah, I think just before you came in, Red, I said that I know a couple of the guys that work for TT Combat from our various interactions on the phone, and I was planning on catching up with them at the expo if possible, and maybe passing on some feedback from a frustrated builder to see, because their instructions are digital, they don't print the instructions out for you. So I reckon as they're producing their instructions, it might be a relatively easy inclusion that would make the experience of building them a little bit better. I'm not saying that they're going to listen to me, but I'm prepared to put it out there. And this is the other bit that's quite frustrating about any MDF kit, is when you get a part that is such a tight fit, like this piece here, where you've got little nodules to go into another piece. So you've got a little blob. Every MDF kit I've ever built has had this. So you've got a little nubbin that goes into another piece, like that here. But once you've got a little bit of glue on it, it might be a bit tight, or it might have splayed out slightly from you popping it out of the frame. And then it doesn't go in the hole right. It doesn't quite fit. Insert your own insert your own size joke here. But that's basically where we're going with this. I enjoy dolls housing MDF kits, and that's more of an extreme thing and probably not suitable for gaming. I don't know what you mean, Tony. Do you mean like putting old wallpaper and stuff on the inside and decking them out a bit? I know Mark from TT Combat, says Red Skirt Minis. I was thinking of sending TT Combat a link to Mrs. MLG's video because I think everyone shares the problems she went through. Yeah, I think so too. And I was going to go and chat to the guys that I've dealt with there previously at the expo and just pass on our frustrations and feedback in a positive way, that they might look at just improving their instructions, because I reckon. So let me, because I think you came in after I talked about this. So here's the instructions. This is the instructions that I'm following. If I can just get the glare out of the way. So this is the instructions that I am currently following, and so all it shows is that this is the part that you need next. But what would be really good is if, like, up in the top corner here, we had maybe like frame 5 for that part. So that part is on frame 5, and then maybe even a little picture of frame 5 that's got that part highlighted in red, so you know where to look for it. Because some are the bits, and I'll talk to them about that when I'm there. But some of these parts might be a part within a part on the frame, and they're not easy to see. So I like that, Kuroniko. It's like the chaotic evil version of IKEA instructions. Yeah, I know that we've moaned plenty of times, or I have moaned on stream, about Forge World's instructions before, because they are poor, or used to be. Very poor Forge World's instructions that you used to get with the kits. And I guess I get the fact that they are supposed to be an expert kit, you know. It's a resin kit and you really should know what you're doing, but there is no excuse for not giving someone a reasonable set of instructions to build something that costs a lot of money. So, especially when it comes with little pipes and other bits and pieces. So yeah, I just think it's something simple, especially when they're producing the instructions in a digital format like this, that they could just do something slightly better. So yeah, by all means, if you know somebody there, and then I'll go and chat to them as well, and see if we can suggest that they maybe do a couple of edits to their instructions. I don't know, this is a fairly recent kit, 'cause the boxed ones that they've done like this are some of their newer formats. I haven't looked at the instructions for anything else in the range to see if they have started doing them a little bit different. This is going to be a right pig to stick together, wherever that locates, because it's only held on by that little nubbin there. It's, we're sticking it on next, so at least it's happening now. I don't know why TT Combat's does that mean I say Tony says yes, wallpapering and cladding the interior and exterior and furnishing. Yeah, I think MDF buildings are great for getting terrain on your table. Oh, thank you very much, Crafty. Getting stuff on the table that looks pretty cool. But if you want to add some interior detail, like we're planning on when we put all the buildings that we've got, if we get that far, onto the table, and when we put them in place, we are planning on sort of detailing some stuff onto the interior, so that as you're playing on the table, you kind of go like, huh, there's a wizard's like study in this one, or whatever. So there's little bits that kind of keep your interest in the terrain as well as the game. I think that'll be cool. Thank you very much, Crafty. Thank you. I'm just going to have to scroll back up the chat now because Kuroniko says Forge World's instructions are the least of their product problems. Now, the other day I did receive Lady Elise Duchard, I think her name is, or Duchard, who is the new sorceress lady on a unicorn that they've produced for the old world. And it actually came with proper instructions, and the resin is changed to a new type of resin, and it looks mint. Really cool. I'll bring it home tomorrow, so I probably won't be on the stream tomorrow, but Mrs. MLG will, and I'll bring it home with me tomorrow so she can show it off, because the resin quality and the instructions are fantastic. It's really good. I realise it's not massive. Yes, that is the one that I got out to look at with the show off on Thursday. Yeah, it looks really good compared to some of the other Forge World stuff. However, I don't know if all their new stuff are like that. Now then, where do we go? Where were we? I don't know why companies like TC Combat don't just make a YouTube video showing how to build them. Yes, they produce a lot of kits, so I understand that they can't do it for everything. Red Snail stuck a photo of what I've printed on Discord. The files are free too. Awesome. We'll have to have a look at that. Evening Crafty, thank you very much for subscribing. Redscope says, I have a newer kit that does have a picture of the sheets and does show which ones the parts are from. However, the pictures are tiny of the sheet. Well, that's all I was asking for. Yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction. Maybe they've already started doing what I was, and they can't go back to all their kits. They do loads. But yeah, that's cool. Kuroniko, my other half got me a Necron centipede and almost sent an email asking why I've just received a bag of plastic bits. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Some of the stuff that you get from Forge World. I have got a Imperial Knight, one of the ones that they've now brought out in plastic. And I had a Storm Eagle for Heresy, and I sold that because I realised that I would just never get around to doing anything with it. I was thinking about selling the Knight and then just using the plastic one, because it looks stressful trying to build something that big with just a page of contents. Tony says, GW plastic may be the best in the market at the moment, but Forge World aren't exactly the industry leaders. They seem overpriced for the quality of the products. Yeah, I think they're getting better. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. And then we're... don't know what we need Forge World for anyway. Just release Grut tanks in plastic and be done with it. Yeah, who's done some that are really cool? I think Cromlech have done some, haven't they? And Max Mini, which is a range that's owned by TT Combat, have done some pretty cool grotty tank type things, but they're all resin. Zan, MS, I have Forge World's new Arvus lighter, and hopefully it will go together a bit better. Just need to build it. Kuroniko, glad you got a good one. There's been some with the mold silicon still stuck on them. Oh, that's no good. And then we're up to date. Awesome. Sorry about that. Just going to have a mouthful of my water. No idea what's happening with the bingo. Both of my bingo administrators are missing in action. So if you're playing the bingo, you may have got a thing, but nobody will be there dishing the card out. So when Mrs. MLG returns, which I wouldn't imagine will be long, we'll see if we can catch up with some bingo-y stuff, because I have no idea how to make any of that stuff work. No idea. Yeah, Forge World, traditionally rubbish, hopefully getting a bit better. Right. Is that going to stick in that slot? A8. Is that going to go in the slot? In the slot. Go on, yeah. Go on, yeah, coward. Ah, look. Fits where it touches. Right. What I could do with there is a bit of off-cutty, spruey stuff. That's just slightly. No, that's going to be too fragile. What about that bit there? Just a wedge. To hold that into position there. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, and then we've got another weird little bit. Right. Pando has randomly said, "That is great, viewer." No idea what he's talking about. The keys? Oh, right. Bear with me, everybody. I will be back in 1 moment. I'm back. I'm back from outer space. Let's just smear a bit of glue down that joint. I do like smearing a little bit of glue. I bought Severina Rain when she came out. When I opened her a few months ago, they must have had an airlock in the mould because I got a bit of the bits, but most of it was missing due to air bubble or whatever they call it. I was gutted as I couldn't get a replacement. Why was she resin? Severina Rain. That was a mini that I really wanted, and never. We sold quite a few of them, and never actually got one. Yeah, I didn't realise if it was a resin figure. I knew it was one of the limited edition ones, but I thought it was plastic. Yeah, that's no good. So did the? Where did you get it from us, or did you get it from GW? Ah, she's been plastic and resin? Don't know. I thought she was plastic. We had, there was the other one, wasn't there? There was Canoness Viridian. Interesting. Yeah, so did you ask him for a refund, Tony? She only, yeah. She's only fairly recently gone out of the range. Well, maybe in the last year or so. Which I'm quite surprised that they got rid of her, actually, because like the Canoness Viridian and a couple of the others was a popular figure. Yeah, look, see, we're motoring now. Now we're piling through the parts, and there's not many left. I'm identifying the ones that I've got kicking about. Look. Zipping through. No, if I ever come across one in our trade-ins or anything, Tony, I will let you know. It is a nice figure. Right, where's my glue? Which way around was that going? That way. Is that the shutters for the inside of it? I don't know. And then that piece is that piece. Bought mine on book release day, so it might have been viewed as a premium treat by the Head in the Clouds marketing lot. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I think it was one of the minis where they did like a limited run to start off with, and then we had to wait for a made to order. So that might have been when they were waiting for plastics in that situation. Didn't realise. That's quite all right, Tony. I'll keep my eyes peeled. We do get some oddities and what have you popping up every once in a while. Right. Tiny little bit of crisscrossy window needed now. Could that be that piece that I've just almost thrown away in the pile of detritus? Yeah. Hi, Wickedy. I think it may have been Finecast. Oh dear. Oh dear, that'll explain why it just had a big hole in there. Quality control is often terrible. I am still waiting for my Marauder Giant on the subject of like made to order type things, so don't know when that might arrive. Other orders that I have placed since have arrived first, but it still says it's processing, so at some point I should have that to show off on stream. One of my favourite minis that I parted with and shouldn't have. And I discovered the other day that my Orc Shaman mini that I loved wasn't a made to order, and I thought it was, and it says that it's coming back on the Games Workshop website, so when that comes back into stock I'm having myself one of them for £9, because that was an absolute favourite, the one with the bone club. Or bone staff. I think one of the best minis that they've made in the Orc range. Is it Brian Nelson? I think maybe. Was it Brian? Is that the right name of the sculptor that did them? I think it was him. Will we be getting 9 litre really useful boxes and XL lids back in anytime soon? Yes, but they do take their sweet time delivering. So last time we ordered it was around 2 to 3 weeks before, from the point of payment of the order and fulfillment. So yes, but I cannot tell you when. Sorry, Tony, you were right. It was a resin one, says Red Skirt. Ah, fair enough. Maybe they were all resin. Yeah. See if any pop up. See if any pop up in our trade-ins. I think that window looked better before. Surely that should have gone on the inside. But anyway. Apparently that is now complete. That section is now complete. That's what the big blue tick means. Need one for my Gorkamorka stuff. No problem. Right, and then this big bit here glues onto this whole chunk of building here. Wicked D, you're here. Mrs. MLG is still not here. She is in the house because I just had to go and let her in, but she has not yet arrived in the Twitch studio, which is what I'm going to call it. I have no idea what happens with the. I have no idea what happens with the old bingo stuff, either of you, that might be able to do retrospective bingo actions, if any are required. Don't know what is outstanding because I can't see cards or nothing. Because you left me. And Mrs. MLG is winning the bingo. It's a rig. It's a rig. Right then. Can this go in here without me having to force it and break something? Can it just slot in? Can it? No, I can hear ripping, so something's not lined up right. There, I can see a slight bit of ripping there. Proper tongue out, forceful action here. Squidging that bit in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Like a masterpiece. Like a masterpiece. Oh, and then we've got some bits of wood to stick on in different positions. Now then. Here is indicated by this picture, excuse me, a piece of wood that has wood texture on it and just goes there. MDF video was brilliant. It was quite cool too, as I like the look of the kit. It does look cool. It does look cool, this kit. Yeah, it's getting easier to put together because as there are less and less parts to choose from, I'm having to cycle through less pieces of wood to find the bits. Now then, is this piece of wood, because there's lots of other pieces of wood that look like this, is this going to be the right height? Now that goes there. And that is not the correct part because it is too long. So what we need to, I might as well have that part, and I need to find something that looks like that but is slightly shorter. Looking good. Need to look at TT's sci-fi stuff. Yeah, they're generally alright. I know I'm doing a lot of moaning about the instructions, and Mrs. MLG has done a lot of moaning about the instructions, but the kits, they do look good once they're built. And it's just, you need a bit of patience. You need a bit of patience. Right. Is this piece the right piece? Well, it does fit, so it's getting glued on. Take care all, I'm off. See you later, Ed. Take it easy. I will check out the Castle Gatehouse. That definitely sounds intriguing to me. In the old Discord. See you later. Right, I don't know how many parts are left to do on this building. I assume that there's a roof of some description. So I don't know whether we'll get this finished on stream. Then after the stream, I've got to finish my Summer Solstice mini. Last little bits and pieces of Summer Solstice mini finish. And then get that posted. Always wanted one of the TT combat ships. Yeah, well, one of our customers has built one of the TT combat pirate ship things. So one of the Carnival galleons for his Mordheim pirate warband as a base for them, and it actually looks pretty cool. But I think I would get annoyed sticking lots of parts that look the same on top of each other. Don't know how they layer up. But yeah, Lewis's pirate ship does look pretty cool. Now, I'm going to take a guess and say it's these ones rather than these ones that I need. They've got the little angle on the top. They look a little bit shorter. I'm going to risk it. Although they've both got the same angle. So it's not going to be those, is it? It's going to be these long ones, isn't it? Is it? Well, they're huge. It's not that, is it? It's got to be short at the front. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe it's one of those, and there's another one somewhere else. Does that fit in there? That doesn't fit. Not that one either. These two. I should just put these two to one three. I should put these three to one side because they seem to make entirely a building. Haven't used any of those for this build. I'll stick them to one side. It's fairly certain it's not going to be on those. Not on that one. Or that one. There's a couple of bits in here that Mrs. Emoji has cut out previously. So do they fit? And if they don't fit, we're just going to have to go custom. That doesn't quite fit. There's going to be a little bit of a gap in the corner. Is there supposed to be a little gap in the corner? There's not really supposed to be a gap in the corner. We're just going to have to make it up as we go along. Right. Are they not the same size? They are not the same size. Those two are the same size. Right. Those two are the same size. This one is slightly shorter. And I think it's the shorter of the two. Sorry for the banging. It's the shorter of the two that we need. So let's find the other one of those. Because one is ever so slightly shorter than the other. They have a new kit out. The Agatha's Stone Moon Tavern, which looks pretty. Yeah, I've seen that one. That one might even be in our pile of kits that we were looking at for this project. I think there's a ruined version of it and a intact version of it, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Just try to eviscerate my finger. That's not a sensible option. Right, I'm gonna shave a tiny smidgeroony off the bottom of both of these. There we go. Tiny smidgeroony, so I can make that fit there. That's the piece for there? No? Oh no, I've already stuck a piece on that side. When did I do that? When did I do that? I can't remember sticking a piece down there. Did I do that like 20 seconds ago? What's this red scope? June brush off extra event paint an MDF building. I don't think that's going to catch on. When did I stick that bit on there? I can't remember doing that. That's the next thing in the instructions. Or that piece. Oh, I don't know. Losing my mind. Got 2 minutes left. Definitely not going to finish this bad boy this evening. No. It is pretty cool. I mean, that's like quite a funky playable surface. And if I just use this little cool dwarfy figure, this is a hassle-free dwarf. I think it's hassle-free. There you go. It's either hassle-free or red box minis. I think it might be a red box one actually. But yeah, like the steps are cool. You can like hook your minis base underneath them, so you can have minis part way up the steps. Maybe not like that. So you can get him in there. There's loads of playable area in there. It's pretty good once you've got it put together. Sorry for all the scratching while I'm rooting around in boxes. Oh, that's the. And then I don't need to be even rooting around in the box because I've got the part here. Here's one I made earlier. Oh. Oop. Maybe we could do it June next year. Are we going to the Game Expo? We are going to the Game Expo. We will be there on Friday to have a look around. We're going to a retailer day on the Thursday, and then we are going to the expo on the Friday. Mrs. MLG and I and Little Miss, we're dragging her along because it's half term, are going to the expo. Leaving our friendly and helpful staff to keep an eye on the shop, keep control of the business empire. While we're away. Now, what is that? What even is that? That next part, I do not. Oh, it's got a bit on the end. Is it that piece? I think it's this piece from the picture, but it's oriented in a weird way. Yeah, so we're not traders. We're just going to look around. Just going to be public visitors. I'm taking Little Miss because she's got a good eye for cool stuff, I think. So. Let's go and look at anything that's new and upcoming. Anybody else going? Are you going, Red Scope? Are you heading along? I know some people like to go and get involved with all the demo games. They go for the full weekend, but yeah, we're just going for the day. I'm coming home. Get in here, quick. Why doesn't that want to go in there? Seems like it's... Can't see what I'm doing. I'm struggling. Sorry. Struggling with this part because this... So this side wants to be tight in there and this side doesn't. And then that piece that I've just put in there just seems to want to spring it out. Like it needs to be weighted down. Some more weird bits. There must be a joist that goes across the whole roof that I can put in to help glue it into position. Let's zip ahead to that part. Oh, you've got to put all the roof on and everything before you mess about with that. Ugh. Oh well. It's just going to have it. It's just going to have to. Is there another? There's another whole dormer piece to go in here. This building's going to take forever. Oh. Sorry. I found smacking it helps. Yeah, I think we're close to that point. Close to that point. Right, and then that piece. So I think we'll make this the last piece before we end the stream this evening, and then post pictures of the completed building in the old chat, in the Discord later, or tomorrow, or whenever I've actually finished it, because having a quick scan through the instructions there, looks like there is lots of parts still to go. Whole other dormer style window piece and other bits and pieces. Yeah, we're on to building a whole other dormer now, so I think we're going to leave it there. It's 5 past. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along, joining me this evening. Mrs. MLG should be streaming tomorrow night, but I will very likely not be here because I should be playing our monthly RPG session. It was lovely to have you, Zan, and everybody. Thank you very much for coming and joining me. Yeah, Mrs. MLG should be here tomorrow night. I may be here, may not, depends on if our session is going ahead. And enjoy the rest of your week. See you all soon. Bye.